my oldest son, when he moved out the first time, he thought he could take care of another living thing, so he got a puppy. So now I have a 9-year-old French Bulldog. Fuck this animal. This thing is, have you seen a French Bulldog? Look, if you haven't, let me explain it. It's like a gorilla fucked a bat. Now you got a dog, okay? Yeah, this crazy gorilla face, bat ears. They don't bark, they fucking scream. Ah! It's, you know what they fucking eat? Whatever the fuck you put in front of them, these motherfuckers. Ugh. Therapy dog, this dog could never be my therapy dog, because I need therapy because of this motherfucker. Like, shush! And I told myself, I'm never getting one of these again. This is insane. And then my wife saw a French Bulldog on Instagram that needed a home. Honey, we need to rescue this one. She's 7 and she's perfect. I'm like, you don't know this bitch? When I say bitch, I mean female dog. I'm not being disrespectful to women. I'm like, you don't know this, right? She's like, look at her, she's perfect. We need to go see her and rescue her. So I was like, fuck. Happy wife, happy life. So let's go to the shelter. We went to the shelter. That is code for prison for dogs. These motherfuckers are in prison. I don't know if you've been to one of these spots. Cement floors. They're in there like yelling at the guards and shit. Ah! They got their bowls and clink, 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 clink. Ah! It's prison. So I went to that shelter and I found this bitch. I'm like, this is the bitch I want right here. And they're like, you want this dog? I'm like, I want that dog. I saw her on Instagram. She goes, that must have been a mistake because this dog is not available to the public. I was like, why? What the fuck? This dog has a bite on its record. I'm like, it has a fucking record? What kind of fucking bitch is this? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, we're not allowed to release this dog to the public because she bit a child. And my first thought was like, that kid had it coming, right? So I was like, well then what do we do? What are you gonna do if nobody gets her? They're like, they're gonna put her to sleep. They're gonna euthanize. They're gonna kill this bitch. This dog. So basically, this dog is on death row. I'm trying to get this dog off death row. Okay. So I was like, well, I'm gonna figure out how to do this. She goes, well, a rescue has to pull her, and then you get her from the rescue. I was like, fuck yeah, let's do that. What's the name of the rescue? They're not allowed to fucking tell you in California. Did you know that? They're like, oh, we can't tell you. I'm like, you fucking what? So what do I gotta do? They're like, oh, figure it the fuck out. So I'm like, they're not killing this bitch on my watch, right? So I contact all the rescues around, right? It takes me like a month. I work for a fucking month tirelessly to find a way to rescue this dog. And I finally got to the point where they let me sign this waiver that made me the rescue so I could get her myself. It took me so long. So I get to the fucking prison, right? The warden lets me in, and then one of the COs takes me up to her cell, and they're like, you sure you want this bitch? I'm like, fuck yeah, I saved her. But then I thought, holy shit, you know what I didn't think of? All the baggage this bitch is coming. You don't think about that when you're trying to rescue, because now it's like a reality, like, oh, fuck, she's 7. Does anybody know what that is in people years? That's 49. Would you let a 49-year-old death row inmate move into your fucking house? Nah, you'd want a background check on this bitch, right? So, but now I'm like, oh shit. So I get her out of her cell, right? And we put her on the leash, and she's like, I know how to fucking do this. And I start walking her. She's like, okay, new dad, we're walking. I'm like, oh wow, she's a very well-behaved dog. So I open my car door, boom, boom, jumps right in the car. She knows what to do. She's like, let's go wherever we're going, new dad. And I was like, all right, bitch, close the door, right? So now, when I say bitch, I'm not being disrespectful. That's what a female dog just. So this bitch is great, right? So I love this bitch. So she's sitting in the car. We're driving to my house. She's licking my ear. And she's amazing. I'm like, I fucking love this bitch, right? So I'm like, I don't see any baggage yet, not yet. But remember, I got a dog at home that's 9, French Bulldog. His name is Bugsy Badass. Her name is Bella Versace. So just so you know, these are the dog's names. And Bella B hasn't met Bugsy Badass yet. So I'm like, but she's still chilling. I'm like, she's gonna be great. Because I know Bugsy's great. We get to the house and I call my son and I said, son, I don't think we should introduce these dogs to each other in the house because that's kind of his territory and we got to warm up to it. And he's like, all right. I go, I'm going to pull up. I'm going to let this dog, I'm going to sit down at the sidewalk at the end of the drive, and then you let this you let him out to meet this bitch, right? So I love this joke because I say bitch so much, but I'm not being mean. It'd be fucked up. I was like, you listening, bitches? But I'm not doing that. I'm talking about my four-legged bitch at my house. So my son opens the door and Bugsy's standing at the door like this, like, because you know they don't bark. And she sees Bugsy, and she unpacked all that fucking baggage right there on the spot. She's like, this is my house, motherfucker, and just ran at him. And I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, how am I gonna do this? These dogs need to get along. So I researched it, and dog people are like, you gotta walk them together. Take them for a walk together, and they'll bond on a walk. And I was like, all right, let's fucking try that. It worked. They were just like, oh, fuck off. We're just gonna walk together now. And I was like, why can't we do that with people? You know what I mean? Like, you ever seen a motherfucker, you're like, I'm gonna fuck this dude up. Hey, let's take a walk. And you could just, let's fucking go. And you're still pissed, but by the time you're just kind of like, oh, it's a nice night, isn't it? It's really... Service animals, my ass.